Hey there, winos. This is Vince.Wine. Today I have the Pessimist by Daou. I recently did a Daou review and I was fairly impressed with that. You can go check that out. I'll leave a link down in the description. But I have to say, since I enjoyed that wine so much, I am an optimist about the Pessimist. Let's pop the cork on today's Wine Lab. Hey, thanks for joining me. And before we get started today, if you want to be a winoceros, hit subscribe on this channel to become a wino today. I'll put out new videos every single Saturday, so be sure to hit that bell icon to stay notified for more great wine content. So this is the Pessimist by Daou. It is a blend from the Paso Robles area, and I love that tagline there, a pessimist is never disappointed. So the story behind this wine is that the Daou winemakers really wanted to make a blend that absolutely encompassed the characteristics of the Paso Robles AVA. So this is a pretty eclectic blend of varietals that do really well in that region. You've got Petit Syrah, usually one of the lead varietals, Zinfandel, Syrah, Grenache, and some other varietals that, well, one of them I haven't even heard of, I saw in the blend. This one today is Petit Syrah, Zinfandel, Syrah, and Grenache. Okay, check out this awesome label. This is incredible. So Pessimist there at the top, and then even the material you can see is really nice to the touch there, and it's just this printed, almost canvas on the label, so gorgeous. And look at this design. This is so incredible here. I love the artwork on this bottle, and I'll try to give you a better view here. So you've got just this, it looks like a young lady there on a floating island with the tree there. There's a couple owls on the branches and the large moon behind her, like this is the last piece of earth that she's on. So she's pessimistic maybe about her chances there, but this is just super cool and definitely gives a dark, moody vibe, which is very much characteristic of what this wine is supposed to be, just deep and dark. Oh, I also love how this just stands out, the capsule there, so you can see Pessimist is sort of cut off at the bottom there. Just definitely completes the look there. And then you've actually got the same character sitting there on top of the capsule too. That's just kind of a neat little touch. Ooh, I just popped the capsule off, and for a second I couldn't tell what this was, and I'm realizing now that it's actually those two owls sitting on that branch. Really a nice touch. And there you have it. In the glass, wow, it is a really beautiful purple color, nice and bright there. Take a look at how deep that really is there. I can sort of just make out my fingers underneath that, so it is pretty opaque, especially as you get to the center of the bowl, and then out on the rim you get that really gorgeous sort of magenta, violet, purple tones around here. And as I turn my glass, that is leaving some pretty significant staining and really thick, gorgeous legs there as well. So this is going to be fairly viscous and full-bodied, I would imagine. Let's take the nose. Oh my gosh. Holy moly, this is actually really beautiful. You know, believe it or not, the first thing that I'm getting here is a little bit of leather. I am getting something like leathery notes, maybe just like a kiss of menthol on there as well, and then comes all of those like sort of deeper, jammier style fruits, those really dark plumminess, little pomegranate, a little bit of that star anise, and currants, black currants for sure. Yeah, and the condition of the fruit is young, fresh, rich and jammy, all deep dark fruits, and then there is maybe a kiss of that sort of Paso limestone in there as well, coming off like a little bit of maybe like oyster shell, little black licorice, and a little coffee undertone in there as well. Not all the way to chocolate, maybe not like milk chocolate, think more like a unsweetened cocoa or cacao. Yeah, so they promised a lot of flavors. They were listing like pages and pages of flavors as I was checking out the wine here, and I'm gonna give that to them. There is a ton of complexity in here. There is just a world of fruit in here, all kinds of dark fruits. I can see raspberries, black cherries. There is a lot of sort of those toasty coffee elements, coffee chocolate, toffee mocha, and then yeah, some of those leathers and smokes, little fennel actually. Yeah, this really goes a long way. I hope it is as interesting on the palate. Let's find out. Okay. It's lighter than I expected on the palate when it's sitting on the palate. It's a little bit not as present, but I gotta tell you right now, ooh, this is just really coming in on the finish. Holy moly. As soon as I swallowed it, I could get all that tannin. This is medium plus to high tannin, and then all the fruit flavors, the oak flavors really came in on the finish, and in fact, I'm still tasting them right now. It's just going and going. About a medium acidity structure in here as well. Structurally, this thing is so sound. This wine is all about the mouthfeel. It's all about that gorgeous structure, but you kind of don't get it until the finish, so I wish it was a little more present on the palate. Ah, it's so strange. Yeah, it's a little non-existent. It could be literally anything when it's in my mouth, but then when I swallow it, oh my gosh, that finish probably lasts for somewhere around 60 seconds, I mean, or more. It is really, really lengthy, and I'm left with a lot of that more oaky kind of chocolate and coffee flavors are the dominant flavors, then the black fruit underneath that. It is super, super pleasant. It is a really lovely, lovely flavor that I'm left with that makes the whole experience. Again, I just can't stress it enough. Once it's on here, it could literally be anything. Once I've swallowed it, that's when I'm happiest. So the Pessimist comes in at about between $20 and $25. I think I picked it up for 21 something. And I would say that I really like this as just sort of an everyday drinking wine, or a wine to sort of impress the friends when they come over. The label is certainly going to stand out and just be really gorgeous. And of course, the wine itself is going to please wine drinkers of sort of all levels, especially new wine drinkers, because it's just so pleasant on the finish. I wouldn't pick this up for dinner. This is not really a food wine for me. I wouldn't say it's got a bunch of residual sugar on it or anything, but it just is not enough going on maybe structurally to hold up to a lot of different foods. I think you would lose it on the palate since you're already losing it on the palate. So I think I would just enjoy kind of sipping this as an aperitif, or after dinner, or maybe it's the meal. You know, maybe this is just what you want to sit around and enjoy. You're just relaxing, doing your favorite pastime, and this wine will leave you pretty optimistic about how you spend your time. Ooh, just real quick, at the end of the video here, I decided I would really be interested in seeing where all of these flavors go eventually. So if any of you winos have an older bottle of the Pessimist, let me know in the comments. How is that? I don't know if there's enough acidity going on, but there's certainly enough tannin to carry the wine, and I'd be really interested in seeing, you know, where did this go? Where did all that complexity end up after a number of years? So let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear if you have an older bottle of the Pessimist. I can easily see why this has been so popular. I would prefer to just drink the Daou. I think the Daou 2019 Cabernet Sauvignon, you're in for a bit more of a serious wine, and a wine that's just a little bit more well-rounded, and it's going to offer a little more. As complex as this bad boy is, for me, it just isn't giving me enough. But it's in the right price range, though. I like it for maybe 20 bucks. I wouldn't mind picking it up just for a Tuesday night hanging out kind of wine. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, please leave me a like. That helps so much. Don't forget to share this video with your wine friends, and until next time, winos, drink safe and drink well. Cheers.